Hello, this is Cooking with the Bald Guy, and one of our first things is probably one of the most time-saving things if you don't cook a lot or haven't cooked a lot, the rotisserie chicken, our friend the rotisserie chicken here. It's one way to have cooked chicken, and you can do so many things with it. So first I just want to break it down. I know bringing this home gets kind of scary. You've got a whole bird in front of you. So did want to just talk about how to break a chicken down or cut it into the parts. Typically most rotisserie chickens have some kind of leg string. This is kind of an elastic thing. So take that off, you don't want to eat that. And you can use a paring knife or a chef's knife, whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to start with a small knife since most of us have like a small kitchen knife. So essentially you're just pulling the parts apart, and this may not even need a knife in it. So the leg with the thigh piece comes off, does the same thing over here. You just pull those off, take and pull the wings off, and then I usually will get rid of the skin. That's just where a lot of the fat is. If you like the skin, which I do love the skin, so I definitely eat that, but don't need to eat it all. And then the breast essentially comes apart and comes right off the bird, the bones. This is good nibbling here if you like necks. It's a lot of good meat. You can finger pick that off like this. Very tasty, or just kind of eat it like corn on the cob. And so I have a plate off camera that I'm just starting to put the different pieces on. You can do chopped chicken, you can do shredded chicken this way. Different recipes call for different things. And then you'll pull a bone out of the breast on both sides. That's kind of where the wishbone is. And just kind of pull the chicken off. And then put the bones to the side. And then take any additional skin. And so put this out here. Do the same thing with the other side. Just check up top. There's usually a bone in here. Just take and pull the little bits of chicken off. And put those over on the side plate. So here's two breasts. The legs are built of two pieces, the leg here and the thigh piece here. And if we're using for recipe, where you're assembling maybe burritos, quesadillas, we're just going to pull all the bones out because all we want is the meat. So there's one of the thigh bones, and just kind of keep feeling through. If you feel anything hard, just pull it out and put it in the bone pile. So this is all meat now. There's some more skin. And then the leg. Just kind of peel off with your hands. I'll clean this up off screen because this is my favorite part, is the leg. And the wing's not a lot of meat, but there's still some there. You want to go through and just pull it off. There's two bones in this middle section. And then that's mostly skin. Get rid of the bones. And what we'll end up with is a lot of chicken. So if you're cooking for yourself or you're cooking for just two, this can be several meals. If you're cooking for a family, it may make one meal. It depends on the size and everything. So in cooking, there's a lot of flexibility just with how you approach it, who you're cooking for, how much you need to use. And so we'll just do this real quick on the leg over here. So pull the thigh and the leg apart. You just kind of strip it off, actually, like a big lollipop. we're down to the thigh again, which is a lot of meat. This is another one of my favorite pieces. I love the dark meat. My wife gets all the white meat because that's okay with me. I grew up, I was the leg boy. My brother got the wings, I got the legs, and Mom got the breast and the back. And so here's kind of what we're left with as far as the amount of chicken. So there's all the dark pieces. Here's the breast here. And there's two ways they'll typically ask you to do it for a recipe, is shred it. So this is essentially what you would do to shred it. You just pull it into long strings where you're not cutting it up. So it's just kind of hand pull it. A lot of times in Mexican restaurants, you'll have shredded chicken or cube chicken or shredded beef or cube beef or ground beef. It's just a different way to process the actual meat. It doesn't really change the flavor, but some dishes request certain ways to do it. They're kind of traditional. And then for the chicken breast, we'll just try cubing or cutting the meat into cubes. So just doing it this way and then crossing over it this way. So like the size of a small die, if you've played Yahtzee or something like that before. So that would be cubed. And then if we're gonna shred the chicken for the breast, you just kind of go in and pull it apart. Or in other words, you're shredding it. And then in different recipes, they'll, it's kind of whatever you gain a taste for too. A recipe will say something, but it doesn't mean you necessarily have to follow it. If you like to do it a different way, cooking's all about cooking for yourself, cooking for what you like, the flavors you like, and the way you like things. A recipe is a good baseline and a good starting point for a lot of things, but over time you'll really gain the confidence to go, okay, here's a recipe, here's the base of it, but how do I want to create this? And so here's chicken. I'll kind of give you a portion size here. So here's one breast shredded, one breast chopped, and then the rest of the chicken in shreds per se. Now we could go in and dice this up and really mince it into little small pieces, but I don't really care to do that. It takes the texture of the chicken away, which I like. So that's how you process a rotisserie chicken, one of God's greatest inventions to make cooking faster, and it's just, they're usually flavored in some way, and just another great layer of flavors. So rotisserie chicken done.